Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and come into a good cross-leg position. So I've just got to change the battery on here. So have a little wriggle about, make sure that you're sitting evenly with balance on both seat bones. So sometimes that takes a little while to fully establish. So hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest and draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Spend a few moments listening to the breath, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, filling them consciously. Emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom, emptying them consciously. Filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Filling both lungs evenly. Emptying them from the top to the bottom, emptying them evenly. Look at something that doesn't move so that your eyes are still in the sockets. Observe whether the seat bones are genuinely level. Just if they're not. And then release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Lengthen consciously from your armpits into your elbows. Elbows into the heels of the hands up into the fingertips. And then with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Spend a few moments listening to the breath. And consciously filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying them from the top to the bottom. With an exhalation, draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with the chest. Lift the chest up to make contact with the chin. And spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance and draw another thing into your mind's eye that brings positive energy into your existence and for which you feel grateful. Hold in that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then draw another thing, a place, a person, a thing in your head for which you feel grateful. Hold that feeling of abundance in your heart area. Bring another thing into your mind's eye for which you feel grateful. And hold that feeling of gratitude in the heart area, and just something else in your life that brings you positive energy. And then gathering that feeling of abundance in the heart area, holding on to that feeling, holding all of those people, places, things that you expressed gratitude for in the heart area, and express gratitude, silent gratitude for having those things in your life, those people, those places, those things. And then hold on to that feeling of abundance. And release the hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. And then raise your head. Allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees. Lift the heart area up to the ceiling. Drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Just feel that you still have that sensation of abundance in the heart area. And no matter what it was that brought that feeling of abundance into your heart area, just be grateful. So often it's things that are the most simple in life. They bring us positive energy, and we can express gratitude for that. And the expression of gratitude is a pleasure in itself. Hold on to your knees and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across, bringing your left hand across to the right knee. Dig the back hand into the floor so that you remain on the front edge of the seat bones. And turn the abdomen, turn the ribs, turn the shoulders, keep the neck soft. Just observe how your body responds to the pose. Does it accept the pose gratefully? Does it resist it? Whichever it is, just acknowledge it without judgment. Do you remain evenly placed on both seat bones, or do you roll over onto the right side? If you roll onto the right side, draw the torso between the two hips so that the hips become level. Come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Just acknowledging how the body responds to the pose. Probably responds slightly differently. Draw the abdomen across and the ribs across and the shoulders across. Breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations. come back to the centre. Come off your lift and sit back on your heels. Adho Mukha Virasana, big toes together, knees apart. Make space in the backs of your knees and then draw the calves away from the backs of the knees, rolling them out to the side. Sit back on your heels and just feel the legs adjust into position. Consciously press the shin bones into the shin skin so that the thighs activate, so that you can elevate the heart area up to the ceiling. And then come forwards and down. So we typically work quite slowly, and that is so that we can give the body space to experience the pose. So just observe how your body responds to this pose. What happens to the seat bones? What happens to the arms? Do you find dullness in the physical body, or is it all engaged in the pose? Do you feel that the back is stretching out? Are the arms becoming limp and unengaged? So press the palms into the floor, squeeze the outer elbows in, hit the seat bones down on the heels. Listen to the breath. Apply some gentle pressure on the forehead. If your head doesn't reach, put a block underneath it. If the seat bones part company with the heels, then put a folded blanket or a block between the seat bones and the heels. Raise your head, keep your right hand where it is and thread the left arm underneath the right armpit. Stretch as far away as you can with that left arm. Bring the shoulder down, bring the head down. Try and keep the seat bones down, but they probably won't stay. And then reactivate your arms. Activate the right arm like you're in Adho Mukha Virasana, and then really consciously press that left arm firmly into the floor, the hand, the forearm into the floor, and then roll the chest down to face the floor. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Actually, Kat, this probably is a little strong for you, so just, if it is too strong, then just bring your arms forwards again. And you can come back to the pose when you're fully recovered. Stretch your arms out in front. Just come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. We'll do the other side. But Kat, if that didn't feel good for you on that side, then just stay in Adho Mukha Virasana. Or you can always just kind of go over to one, come up onto the fingertips, stretch over to one side and then the other. Otherwise, keep the hand pressing into the floor, the left hand pressing into the floor, stretch the right arm underneath the left armpit, bring the shoulder down. Stretch into the left arm like you're doing dog down. Try and keep the seat bones down on the floor, even if they won't stay. And then press that right arm firmly into the ground, and then roll the chest down to the floor so that you prise open the shoulder blades. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then release your arms. Press the hands back into the floor, and then just stretch into Adho Mukha Virasana one more time. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up into a seated position, and then just sitting back on your heels. Just lifting up into the chest. Kat, was that okay, or was that a bit uncomfortable? That's okay, right, good. Okay, lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area upwards, and then sit yourself. Keep sitting on the heels, and then stretch your arms behind you. Have the hands directly underneath your shoulders, and the fingers pointing towards the knees. Now, you might not go all the way into this pose. This is the little paryankasana variation. But I want you to press the palms into the floor and to lift from the wrists and up into the armpits. So you might just want to stay here, just lifting from the wrists up into the armpits. Press the shins into the floor. You might want to lift the seat bone, so press the shins into the floor, turn the tailbone in, and feel like the seat bones lift off the floor like they're full of helium. Keep lifting the wrists up into the armpits, and then if you can, stretch your head, your chin away. Pressing the shins into the floor, turning the tailbone in, lifting the chest, lifting the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone. And then come back, sit back onto your heels, and then stretch forwards. Just go sit back on your heels for a moment. Just observe the energy that you've released into the arms and into the shoulders and into the upper body. Come onto all fours and have the little fingers on the edge of the mat. Stretch the thumbs towards each other. If you're not doing dog down today, you can do chandrasana instead, and then come up into dog down. Tighten your kneecaps. Press the palms into the floor. Lift from the wrists up into the armpits like we did in paryankasana. Lifting up from the armpits into the seat bones. Straighten the legs, tighten the kneecaps. Lengthen the heels away from the toes. Lengthen the little toes away from the big toes. Lengthen the hip. Feel that you can stretch the underside of the foot, lengthening from the toes into the heels, so that you activate your shins, and then turn the shins inwards. Tighten the kneecaps. Keep lengthening the heels away from the toes, tighten, which also helps you to tighten the kneecaps. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, lift the fronts of the thighs up to the tops of the legs. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Now we're going to bring the heels down a little, but watch out for those creases between the shins and the feet. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. As soon as those creases appear, then you've gone too far. But it's good to just stretch out the calf muscle, but keep the legs, keep the heels stretching away from the toes, keep the shins lifting. Bring the heels all the way down, even if you lose that action of the legs. Push the heels away from the toes. And then just come back up, bring the heels back up. Lift the legs until you lose those creases. And then step your feet forwards. Just come up into standing. And then have a couple of blocks for your hands, and then bring the feet as wide apart as your mat. So just make sure that your heels are lined up with each other. Sorry, not your heels, your big toes are lined up with each other, your toes are lined up with each other, and have the feet so that you can feel the heels are touching the edge of the mat. The little toes are touching the edge of the mat. Again, tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, lift up into the chest, and then Come forwards, hinging at the hips. And then find the blocks underneath your hands. Just 1 foot at a time, lift the heel and try and stretch it away from the toes. So it really activates the shins, activates the kneecaps. And then lift the thighs up towards the top of the leg. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Lift the seat bones up to the ceiling. And then project into the chin and the chest. Just be in the pose. Don't think about moving into the pose more deeply. Just feel where you are in the pose right now. Feel what is happening in the calf muscles. I read a really interesting article yesterday that suggests that the calf muscles are a secondary heart, that they draw blood out of the feet and up into the heart area, and that they help to really maintain the circulation in the legs. And it gets described as a secondary heart in the article that I was reading. And so stretching and activity in the legs really helps to pump the blood. So not just the muscle of the heart, the calf muscle also helps to circulate blood. If you can go down lower, then do. Keep hitting those heels away from the toes so that the shins press into the calves. Turn the fronts of the shins inwards, the fronts of the thighs inwards, projecting the chin and the chest forwards. If you can reach the floor, then do, but not at the expense of losing the extension of the legs. So no bent knees. Keeping those kneecaps pressing through to the backs of the knees, projecting the chin and the chest forwards. If you can reach around the backs of the heels, but again, not at the expense of losing extension in the spine and in the legs. Okay, come back to the centre. Bring your hands into your hips and then come up into a standing position. And then just come into Tadasana. Lift up into the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. Turn your left toes in and the right leg and foot all the way out. Again, tighten the kneecaps. Turn the legs outwards. And then reach over, find the shin, look up. Consciously stretch the toes away from the heels away from the toes, on that back leg and on the front leg. Lift from the feet into the shins, into the thighs, into the hips. Lifting evenly out of the floor. Lift from the hips up into the spine, into the arms, into the head. Just feel that you're in line. Just have a quick look down. If your head is directly over your foot, then you are in line. If your head is kind of more over the big toe or over the mat, then lift the chest, squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards. Reach up, come back to the centre, and then swap the feet around. Turn the right toes in and the left leg and foot all the way out. Just release your hands for a second, and then I want you to pick up the heel of the back foot a little and stretch it consciously away from the toes, and then lengthen from the big toe, stamp the neck of the big toe into the floor, into the little toe. Bring some weight into the little toe side of the foot. Pick up the heel of the other foot, pick up the toes of the other foot, not the heel, and then lengthen the foot from the heel into the toes. Spreading the toes across from the neck of the big toe into the little toes. So the little toe side of the feet become activated. You've got to turn the thighs outwards. And then reach over, keeping your feet really firmly activated, feeling like you got flippers instead of feet. Look up, lift up, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Lifting from the feet and into the shins and into the thighs, into the hips, into the spine. Keeping the big toes stamping down. So you have to consciously activate that. And then look, come back to the center, bring your feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together, coming back into Tadasana. Okay. Get a block on the right side of the mat. Get a block on the left side. And then just come back into Tadasana. So in Tadasana, lift one heel and then really consciously lengthen it away from the toes. Try and stretch the foot. Do the same with the other foot. Lengthen the heel away from the toes, and then press the big toes into the floor and stretch the little toes out to the side. Press in the neck of the big toe. So that if this is the big toe, then this part here is the neck. Press the neck of the big toe into the floor. Stretch the little toes out to the side. Tighten your kneecaps. Hit your shins back. Lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area up to the ceiling. Feel that you can bring energy and life into the chest. Bring your arms out nice and wide, in towards your chest, and then step or jump to trikonasana. Turn your left toes in. Stamp the neck of the big toe of the left foot in, lengthen into the little toe side. See if you can bring that little toe side down onto the floor. Turn the right foot and then pick up the toes, lengthening them away from the heel. Stamp the neck of the big toe down, stretch into the little toes so that the outside edge of the foot is evenly connected. And come into trikonasana. So we're going to go into ardha chandrasana from here, but just feel your trikonasana first. So ardha chandrasana, drop the top hand onto the hip. Drop the top hand onto the hip. Bend the front leg, bend the right leg, and then hop in a little. And then bring the hand onto the mat or onto the block, a foot away from your foot, and on the little toe side of your foot. And then reactivate that left leg, tighten the kneecap. Just feel that you can really spread the foot of the right foot. That's the standing leg. And then you're going to come up with a straight leg with that left leg. Straighten the standing leg. Pushing into the heel of that lifted leg. And then turn in the chest to face the front. Turn in the top shoulder around to the wall behind you. And then if you can, you reach up. I run out of ceiling height a little bit here. So turn in the chest. Feeling how that foot connects to the floor. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then from there, come back down into trikonasana. And then back to the center. Bring the feet parallel. And then step or jump your feet back together. Come back to the center. So this pose challenges our balance, doesn't it? All really good for brain health. Just be back in Tadasana, stretching the toes away from the heels. Pushing the shins into the calves. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, just bringing the breath back. And then stretch your arms out in towards your chest and then step or jump your feet nice and wide for trikonasana. Turn the left toes in. So turn the right toes in, not the left. Turn the right toes in. Turn the left leg and foot all the way out. Before you turn, so your hips are going that way a little bit. So turn this back leg from the big toe side to the little toe side. And then come over to the side. Look up. So feel that you can suck from the feet into the heels. I feel like I'm a bit narrow actually. Just be in trikonasana. And then drop the top hand onto the hip. Bend that left leg, hop in. Bring the hand onto the floor on the little toe side of the foot, about a foot away from your foot. Keep that right leg straight and then lift. Lift that right leg up. Straighten the standing leg. Flexing into the heel of that lifted leg. Turning the chest to face the front. And then reach up with the top hand. Look forwards, look down, look up. Just maintain that connection with the floor. And lift from the foot into the shin, into the knee, into the thigh. Turning the chest to the front. Turn that top shoulder towards the back of the room. You can keep the hand on the hip. And then gently come back down into trikonasana. And then come back to the center. Bring the feet parallel. And then step or jump the feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. Just observe your energy. Observe how your energy has changed. And then bring your hips about your feet, about hip width apart, turning your toes in. If you've got a problem with your back, then rather than coming all the way down, come forwards like this and stretch away from the hands. Feels nice. Otherwise, we're going to do full uttanasana, so raise your arms up, hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows, wrap your fingers around your elbows, Keep the head lifted, keep your arms lifted. Come forward and then just hang down. Press the shins into the calves. Lift the shins out of the ankle socket. Lift the kneecaps away from the shins. Lift the thighs away from the kneecaps. All the way up into the hip socket. Let the top of the body hang down. So if this is too strong for your back, go back to the version that I showed you before where you had your arms on an elevation. Just listening to the breath. Listening to the inhalation and the exhalation, letting the body recover in uttanasana. Okay, and then release your hands down to the floor. Just come into half uttanasana. If you can't reach the floor with straight legs, then bring your hands onto your shins. Project the chin and the chest forwards. And then walk your hands towards the end of the mat. Bend your knees if you need to reach the floor. And then step back. Come back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. From here we're going to come into dog up. So keep the hands where they are, keep the feet where they are, and then swing the hips forwards, keep the arms straight, keep the legs straight. Keep the legs away from the floor, turn the tailbone in, draw the lower ribs through the arms, lift up into the chest, push into your heels. And then come back up into dog down. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just let the body recover. If I'm holding you too long in the pose, then you can rest, come down onto your knees. If you can stay and maintain, then do. Dog down is really good for bringing the breath into the pose. It's really good for the liver. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, and then everyone come down onto your knee. Sit back on your heels and just spend a moment to observe your energy. Observe how your energy has almost fizzed its way into the flesh and the skin. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's come up onto all fours. And we're going to go into rajakapotasana, the pigeon pose. So bring the right knee forwards to make contact with the right wrist, and bring the left foot so that it's underneath the right. So bring the right knee towards the right wrist and bring the right foot so that it's underneath the left thigh. And then stretch that left leg away. Come up onto the fingertips and turn that back leg like you're doing Tadasana. Keep the back leg firm, keep the kneecap tightened, like you're doing dog up, but the leg is on the floor this time, so it's a little bit like Bhujangasana as well. Turn that front of the thigh inwards. Lift the abdomen up to the diaphragm, up to the collarbone. Project the chin up to the ceiling. Breathing even deep inhalations. Keep that bhujangasana leg behind you, turning the front of the thigh of that back leg from the little toe side to the big toe side so that the hips come level. Keep the kneecap firm on that back leg. And then just release, bring the palms back down, step in with the back leg, and then come back onto all fours. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then bring your left knee to make contact with the left wrist, the left foot underneath the right thigh. And then stretch that right leg away. So again, do you remember Bhujangasana? It's like the cobra pose. So we turn that back leg like we're doing the cobra, doing the Bhujangasana. Turn the front of the thigh inwards so that the hips come level. Come up onto your fingertips. But in Bhujangasana, you keep the kneecap tightened. So feel like you're half in cobra, half in pigeon. Lift up into from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone. So the more you activate that back leg, the more you can lengthen the abdomen. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then release, bring the palms down. Walk in with that right leg and then come back onto all fours. Sit back on your heels and stretch forward into Adho Mukha Virasana. Okay, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up into a seated position. Just sitting back on your heels, again just observing that energy in the chest, in the shoulders and in the arms and in the legs. Just how you've opened up the energy of your physical body. And then sit yourself in cross legs. You can sit directly on the floor or on a lift, whichever works most successfully for you. You can be in half Padmasana or just normal cross legs, just something where you can feel level. Hold onto your knees. Lift up into the heart area, draw in your shoulders consciously down away from your ears, lengthening into the neck. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right, drawing your abdomen across your ribs and your shoulders. Just feeling that energetic lightness, just feeling the body's resistance and respecting it. It's confirmation of existence as much as anything. It's affirmation of your physical body. Come back to the center, hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Drawing your abdomen across your ribs and your shoulders. And then gently come back to the center. Just lift out of the seat bones and up into the hips, into side ribs into the armpits, drawing your shoulders down. Just feel how you can sit evenly. Just consciously filling the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom, filling them evenly and emptying them evenly. And then come down onto your back. Have a bolster underneath your lower back and then lift your legs up to the ceiling. So come down onto the floor. Just get your bolster and place it underneath the lower back and the sacrum area. Gather your shoulder blades together, bend your knees, and then elevate your legs up to the ceiling. Just allow the physical body to really lift. If you want to increase the inversion from here, come right onto the tops of the shoulders and then swing yourself up and walk your hands into your lower back for svanasana. And so bring yourself down when you're ready. Just slide your hands down your back, and bring yourself back onto the bolster. Keep pressing the heels up to the ceiling, pulling the toes down to the floor. Remember, just giving that the secondary heart of the calf muscles the action that it needs to really optimize the circulation. So the calves help the blood work against gravity. Obviously in this position it's working with gravity, but typically it's working against gravity. Okay, bend your knees, bring your feet back down onto the floor, and then just bring yourself down onto the ground. Push yourself up into a seated position. Get a folded blanket for underneath your head. Get a heavy bolster if you've got one, and then just align yourself in a really good straight line right down the centre of the mat. Get the bolster and place the bolster on top of your legs. And then just allow the body to release into the ground. So just let the body relax. Let the muscles unhook themselves from the bones. And feel that the body becomes heavy. And out of that heaviness becomes a perceivable, energetic lightness that radiates from the bones and into the muscles. From the bones to the muscles to the organs, spreading healing, energetic lightness into the organs. Using your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that energy evenly down into the toes and into the fingers, into the top of the head. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. So perhaps that feeling of abundance that we created at the beginning of the session is amplified into abundance throughout the physical body. And then when you're ready to disturb yourself, wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. Just remove the bolster from your legs, pull the knees in toward your chest, have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then roll over onto your right side, just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just cross legs with your hands in Namaste, a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. And be conscious of the transformation of your energy, the transformation of your physical body. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created around the heart area. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. Release the backs of your hands down toward your knees. Bring the tips of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our day as an intention. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel like you really extended and give yourself lots of good energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining.